What's good, YouTube? It's Josh from Card Overflow, and I'm here with
Esala.
And what'd you do this weekend?
I decided I really wanted to lose in top 64, so I made it until then, and then I just, I left after that.
And what deck did you play?
I played the Ishizu tier deck because realistically you shouldn't be playing anything else.
Cool. Any shoutouts before we get into that?
Yeah, shout out to Luxury Gaming, shout out to Jesse. I played the exact same list as him. We worked on it since Pasadena. I went X2 no top at Pasadena, so I really wanted to at least top this one, but then I've been jet lagged for a severe amount of time, and I will go to sleep immediately.
Okay, great. Well, let's get into the deck.
We have 3 of all of these guys. I know there's talk about playing 2 of this one. I understand it, but I just think especially because I'm playing a bigger list, I just want to be able to hit these in the grave as much as I can. I'm trying to play on their turn as much as I can too, so and only 2 of these because I actually don't want to see it that often. I'm not really trying to draw it because it's really bad in the bestials. If I mill it, it's okay, but you only want. I would play 1, but I want to play 2 in case the first one gets banished by their Kaleido Heart or their thing when you're playing on their turn. It's a pretty frequent thing, or their Kelbeck. It's pretty often that the first one gets banished, so I want to be able to make Kaleido Heart later. So we have to play 2. 3 orange lights. It doesn't seem in a vacuum this card's actually not that great, but you get into such a grindy situation that this card just ends up being stronger and stronger the later the game goes. And then when you're just milling it to become a tuner, because I'm not playing Diviner, that's something that's honestly more essential. I make Baron all the time, even though this is my only tuner. And then I played all 12. So these are pretty standard, and I guess this is pretty standard too. 3 Agido, because we're essentially always milling. Unless I'm already really ahead, I'm going to be activating these cards. And the biggest benefit that I get from that is, even though they get to mill their stuff too, usually I'll have one of these or something to combat their shuffle guys or their mill guys. So it's either worst case scenario where I net nothing and we both get nothing out of it, which is fine because I still have my extra deck, or I get the higher value from the trade. And sometimes they're just not milling, they're not playing anything to mill, and I just get super plus. But yeah, the biggest thing is that turn 1, when you do this, you have your extra deck, they don't. So I get to use their graveyard more, and we built our extra deck for that. The next best thing, I only played 5 of these last week, but then we decided these were just the absolute best cards.
7,
I didn't play this card, I sided it last time, but the problem with it getting dark is not nearly as bad as just seeing them. You just want to see them all the time. This is how I lost in top 64 as well. He just had 2 bestials both games, so these absolutely the best cards.
What did you play against in top 64?
Tearlaments.
Tearlaments.
Yeah. My losses in Swiss were to Shifter and Shifter, and then I lost to bestials.
Got it.
And myself, honestly. 3 field spell. If you were to ban anything in this deck, it's probably this one. 1 terraforming as well.
And terraforming. Yeah.
Instant Fusion, also banned. 2 Screams, Heartbeat, and then 1 of each trap. So Scream is insane against anything that's not the mirror and just going first always. This is just, so you have a constant Mystic Mine out, you're able to search it all the time, it's just free advantage with this, you're able to do Kaleido Heart tricks when you're popping it with your field spell. I think I really like all these ratios. I just really enjoy seeing this card, and you'll see I sided into a 3rd one when I go first, and versus anything that's not the mirror, I'll just have all 3 in all times, because in a grind, this is the absolute best card you can have.
Would you still play Herald if you were to play this tournament again?
Oh yeah. I don't think I'd change much. The list worked fine, it's just I'm tired.
Yeah.
Also, I just got shifted a lot, so maybe my side deck would be different. This one really performed well. This one, it comes up. I haven't used this in a long time. Goated. 1. These are all very, very essential, and I think this comes up enough of the time that it's worth playing. This is really, really important, especially when you're playing on both players' turns. If you're going second and you have any way to trigger a tier and you summon this, they can't use Kit. They can't use, assuming you call Dark, right? They can't use Kit target itself because it's both sides. They can't target, so they can't target their own cards. So they just don't get to use the Nullify effect. They don't get to use Lightheart. They usually have a really hard time clearing this, so that's a big problem. And that's why playing so many Bestials is really good, because it makes it really easy to summon this because you just have any Bestial in the grave. Baron, even with just 1 Herald, really strong. And usually you'll use a Rule Close to make it, and then fuse with the Rule Close back, and you have Rule Close on your field later. Makes you more resistant to Super Poly, and then just evenly in all those other dumb cards too.
Did you get to summon it at all this weekend?
Baron?
Yeah.
I summoned it, I think, at least 8 times.
8 times, okay.
Yeah. I cannot hold my cards either. Dweller and Baguska. these are both just really good. This is versus the tier decks, and this versus everything else. Like really good into Shifter. And then Wallow is my rank 6. Beatrice doesn't come up that much when you're like always milling all the time. It's usually not like one more effect that you need, but this being able to take their tactics, take their field spell, take their instant fusion, or just being able to summon a guy, making all your monsters really huge is also a big thing. Like, this one's just more versatile and just really strong. Charmers, we played Dark and Asa. Dark is obviously insane. Asa is to take their these guys, right? So, I mean, you can use it just to climb if you want to, but if you're forcing out these guys, like, let's say they haven't used one of these effects yet, they have to use it immediately when you target it, because if they don't, then you get to use it from your side of the field and just banish the rest of their grave anyway. And then, so if he forces these out, and then you could just, like, use this and then go into Sprint immediately after. So you get them out of the way and try to force them early to resolve. And then Elf, last card, Access Code. Because the situation with the Mud Dragon is so problematic that you kind of need something to deal with that. It's also attacked over Arrival once for me, so that was cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, side deck. 2 more Sereners for going second in the mirror. That's pretty much all you ever side in going second in the mirror, because like, there's not much you can change. The deck's built for the mirror. And 1 Scream for going first, or if you're just playing against anything that's not tier, then you just side it in pretty much all the time. Unless it's like a floodgate deck. Like if they're going to be maybe like Exorcister particularly, I don't think I need to side in the rest because you have to side in so much of the other stuff. But yeah, then you know just kind of most of your side deck is dedicated to just anything that's not tier because your main deck is built for tier. But this is always just kind of going first as well. Against tier going first, you side in this. Against tier going second, you just side in these 2. And then these are just like for everything else. Usually going first, you probably side this in versus everything. If it's a matchup where the Bestials are bad, you're usually siding out the 7, and you're siding in like either these 7 or these 7. And then these cards suck. I should not be playing them. But I also suck. And I should not be playing.
All right, well, that wraps up the deck. Any final comments?
The deck is really good. Honestly, like I do really enjoy playing the mirror match on this. I think maybe part of the reason why I've been so depressed is because I only played 4, and I played against a bunch of other random stuff, and the rounds took really long. So when you haven't slept in like a week, it adds up poorly. So yeah, maybe next time. I'm looking forward to the next one.
Well, congratulations, and thanks for the deck profile.